Hey guys, welcome back.
We're about to get non-linear in this one because
I do what I want.
So I recently started at the Recovery Project, which I really don't know if I've mentioned. Either way, my occupational therapist asked me what Friday's video was going to be about, and I was kinda stumped, not gonna lie. Maybe it's this time of year. The weather is shitty, there's very little sunlight, and the air literally hurts. I always feel kind of down this time of year. I think that's pretty common. I've never been diagnosed with SAD or seasonal affective disorder or whatever, but yeah, this time of year is just kind of gloomy. I take vitamin D supplements to counteract those negative effects though, so we're just gonna keep on keeping on. My first thought was to talk about media, but what does that even mean, you know? I googled it to get a good baseline, and yeah, it says YouTube videos count as media. So that answers that question. Okay, and I have a piece of paper that says digital media arts. Okay, so we've established what media is in this context, but I went to Specs Howard to get a job in the digital media arts industry. But when I was at Specs, I wasted a lot of time just surfing and goofing around on the internet. I call it wasting time because I was paying to attend. I was literally wasting my own money, but that's not really the point. I spent a lot of time perusing Cracked.com. I think I solely contributed to Crack's click-through rate because holy shit, I didn't just spend time on Crack during school.
This is not a place for smart people, Jerry.
I was literally always on that website. One of my favorite things that Cracked ever made was After Hours. After Hours featured Soren Bowie, Dan O'Brien, Katie Willard, and the man, the myth, the legend, Michael Swaim. Dan and Soren moved on to write for Last Week Tonight with John Oliver and American Dad, respectively. I am a huge Michael Swaim fan and have been for like a decade now. I subscribe to the Small Beans channel and really appreciate how he's trying to bring back a thing so many people genuinely enjoyed and miss having in their lives with Off Hours. It's also really cool how he's given Katie Willard a platform again. She's an example of how arbitrary sexism and stuff is just really bad for the media industry. Maggie Mae Fish is another good example of a fresh female perspective on a show that's trying to recreate that nostalgia magic. I see what you're doing, Swaim, and I'm definitely here for it. I mentioned Off Hours, which will never be at the same level of After Hours, but I never expected it to be. Like I said, I'm here for it. Despite all the time and money I wasted in school, I still managed to become a wedding videographer. But now when people ask me what I do for a living or what my job is, I really don't know what to say. I've Googled job and pretty much every result talks about money. But then it's like, as a guy who can't make money, I get this a lot.
What would you say you do here?
And it's like, yeah, what would I say I do here? I'm just making fun, silly little videos for kicks. There's no other reason to be doing this.
I do this shit for the love of the game.
But even though I can't monetize these videos, it still feels really rewarding to complete them. I won't sit here and lie to you, this whole script writing process is tedious as hell. I really enjoy the whole editing process and putting everything together, but like I said, writing scripts is like pulling teeth. I'm really bad about procrastination. I think everyone can get that way sometimes, but I feel like my video's quality has suffered because of that. And like I know it's one of those things in my life I do have control over. I could not control getting a brain tumor.
I'm a tumor.
Nobody is really in full control of their life. But I have complete control over the Disabled Danny channel or cult or whatever, and that makes me really happy. Since I have complete control, I'd like to change my followers' names to Danimals. Come aboard the Disabled Danny cult, ARC. All Danimals are welcome. Circling back to After Hours though. That is literally about different media and people are just talking and discussing ideas. It's great. But obviously I can't look at this great thing, want my videos to look like that, and just will it into existence. I know that I actually have to put time and effort into this, it won't just happen. And even if I can't make money or whatever, the dopamine rush I get from completing a task isn't affected by money. Creating is always better than consuming. That's a bit of a life hack. Actually, that term kinda annoys me. It's really a brain hack because you're figuring out how that hunk of gray matter works and exploiting it. Which I figured out when I was disabled.
I'm a tumor.
Is there a part of me that wishes I figured that out sooner? Obviously. But we're not gonna sit and play the hindsight game. So it's really just me asking this question.
What would you say you do here?
Well, I would say I recover. This seems like a good opportunity to segue to recapping my week. I'm going to keep using that Paul Blart clip until I put in actual work to update it. So I guess get used to it. If you expect anything out of me, you're
gonna have a bad time.
So on Monday was my therapy session per usual. On Tuesday, I worked on my divisional round video. That's a shameless plug, by the way. Link in description. On Wednesday was the aforementioned recovery project. I obviously had occupational therapy, but I also had physical therapy. Both of those sessions went really well, and I hope to include that in future videos. My yoga therapist, Becky, has unfortunately been sick. I really hope for a quick recovery, but I obviously didn't have my yoga session on Thursday. On Fridays, I go to Inclusively Fit. I always do a variety of stuff at the gym. I've talked about all that. Today, I was doing ball throws against the wall. I started with the right arm, but also got an equal amount of reps on the left side. For my final point, I feel like it's my calling to be a creator, and I feel like I am. But I think it's my job to recover. I don't necessarily love my job all the time, but nobody does. I've found a way to combine my job and my calling, and that's the goal though, right? I'm about to roll out, but if you want more you can go to my website disableddanny.com. For even more you can subscribe to join my cult, the Dan Fam. Remember, you're all my little Danimals now. So I really want you guys to be gentle and safe while liking and hitting the bell.
She inside y'all.